Your life savings are draining away every time the clock ticks at 4:12 p.m. You have sat in this exact worn leather chair for 3 years, watching the second hand sweep toward financial ruin while the neighbor's lawnmower hums outside, masking the sound of your own undoing. That indifferent rhythm isn't just marking time, it is counting down the final moments before your career collapses entirely. You look at the desk in front of you. A single fountain pen sits on a blank sheet of paper. There is no urgency today. The panic that defined your first 6 months is gone, replaced by a cold, sharp clarity. You are managing the final chapter of your own existence. This is not a surrender, it is an act of design. You spent your morning clearing out the closet in the hallway. 4 contractor bags of clothes are now sitting in the trunk of the car. They are destined for a donation center on the other side of town. It feels strange to hold a winter coat you haven't worn in 3 years and decide, with total finality, that you never will again. The physical objects of your life, the books, the ties, the extra kitchen utensils, have become anchors. As you shed them, you feel a peculiar sense of weightlessness. You are stripping away the debris of a life that is no longer moving forward. Every item removed is one less thing for someone else to sort through later. It is a quiet, private kindness. You are tidying the house before you leave for a long trip. The medical file remains on the bedside table. It is a thick, cream colored folder containing the results of your latest scans, stage 4. The words were heavy when you first heard them. They carried the weight of a funeral procession. Now, they are just data points in a larger terminal equation. You have checked the boxes required by the state. 2 physicians have examined your charts. They have verified your capacity to make this decision. They looked for the flicker of doubt in your eyes, but they found only the steady light of certainty. You have lived in a state of terminal diagnosis for 12 months. You have watched your strength evaporate 1 ounce at a time. The battle was fought with chemotherapy and radiation, but the outcome was written in the biology of the tumor. You have simply stopped fighting the inevitable. There is a specific kind of freedom in knowing the end is yours to manage. You think back to the story of Brittany Maynard. In 2014, she faced the same wall you are facing. She moved from California to Oregon, chasing a law that would grant her the right to die on her own terms. She became a symbol of agency in a system that often treats the patient as a passive recipient of medical failure. You remember watching her videos. Her face was not the face of a victim. It was the face of a navigator. She chose to use her remaining time to change the law, to open doors for others who find themselves standing on this exact precipice. She showed the world that a terminal patient is not a spent force. She was a catalyst. When you read her words, you didn't feel pity. You felt recognition. You walk to the kitchen and pour a glass of water. The sunlight catches the dust motes dancing in the air. The world outside the window is vibrant and busy. A teenager is riding a bicycle down the street. Someone is walking a golden retriever. They are all caught in the relentless momentum of living. You feel a strange sense of detachment, as if you are watching a film from a balcony. You have stepped off the ride. You are now the observer. The process of medical aid in dying is often misunderstood by those who have never had to stare into the abyss. They use words like suicide, ignoring the fact that your death is already guaranteed. You are not choosing whether to die, you are choosing the manner of your departure. You are choosing to spare your family the slow, agonizing erosion of your final weeks. It is the last gift you can give them, a memory of you that is intact, a goodbye that is spoken clearly, not whispered through a fog of pain. You imagine your daughter walking into this room. You have already written the letters. They are tucked into a locked drawer in the mahogany desk. You wrote one for your son, one for your wife, and one for your youngest. You didn't write about the disease. You didn't write about the hospital or the sterile white walls that became your prison. You wrote about the fishing trips in the Ozarks, the sound of the rain on the tin roof of the cabin, the way you felt the first time you held them. You left them with the version of you that existed before the scans and the appointments. They will read those letters, and they will see a father, not a patient. That is the point. You are protecting their future grief from the jagged edges of a traumatic decline. There is a profound, quiet discipline to this. You wake up early every day, not because you have to, but because you want to experience the morning one more time. You drink your coffee on the porch. You listen to the birds. You notice the way the light changes as the sun moves across the sky. You have become a connoisseur of small, mundane moments. You appreciate the texture of a cotton shirt, the taste of a crisp apple, the warmth of the sun on your hands. When you were younger, you spent your life building for a future that was decades away. Now, the future has shrunk to a few weeks, and yet, paradoxically, you have never felt more present. You are not looking forward to a promotion or a vacation. You are looking forward to the next hour. The medical establishment is a complex machine. It requires forms, signatures, witnesses, and waiting periods. It is designed to be difficult to ensure that the choice is never made in a moment of impulse. You have navigated the bureaucracy with the same focus you once used to manage a corporate merger. You had to find the doctors, clear the legal hurdles, and arrange for the medication. It is a clinical, precise process. It is the antithesis of the chaotic, messy end that most people suffer through in an ICU bed. You are reclaiming your sovereignty. You are taking back the narrative. The doctors are facilitators, but you are the architect. You are building a bridge between the life you knew and the stillness that comes after. The thought of the final day doesn't bring fear anymore. It brings a strange sense of anticipation. You have decided on the room. You have selected the music. You have asked that the windows remain open so you can hear the wind in the trees. You have chosen who will be there. You have asked for no tears, only the comfort of shared presence. You will take the anti nausea medication first, just as the protocol dictates. You will wait an hour. Then you will take the main dose. It will feel like falling asleep on a cold winter night, the kind of sleep that is deep, restorative, and infinite. You will fade out, not in a struggle against the tide, but by stepping into the water on your own. There is no need for grand, theatrical gestures. Your life has been a series of small, honest choices. This is the last one. It is the most important, and yet it feels as natural as drawing a breath. You are satisfied. You have looked at the total sum of your existence, the triumphs and the failures, the joys and the regrets. You have found that the ledger balances. You are leaving the world better than you found it, even if that improvement is only visible to the ones you love. The second hand on the clock continues to move. 4:14, 4:15. The progression is steady and inevitable. You pick up the pen. You have a few more thoughts to commit to paper before the day ends. You have time. You have control. You have peace. If you ever find yourself walking the path that leads to this threshold, understand that the greatest power you will ever possess is the power to define your own finish. It isn't about giving up. It is about claiming the final word in a long, complicated story. You know the steps now. You know the weight of the ink on the page. You know the silence of a house that has been cleared of its burdens. You are ready to close the book. You are the one who decides when the story concludes. If you want to understand how the machines are built, you know what to do. Life is for the living, but death is for the wise. Take care of your legacy while you still have the breath to dictate the terms. The chair is waiting. The pen is ready. You are the architect of your own silence. Good night.